Hey guys, today I have another podcast episode for you, and I am so excited because I've been up to so much lately that I have to record or I'm gonna start forgetting all the things that I'm working on. So that is what today is. I don't look my best because it's like almost 10 o'clock. I'm tired, but I do want to film this because tomorrow I have so much to edit. So this is kind of like an up reel and personal, and like I've been crafting all day. So I don't even care. I don't even care. So the first thing I have for you guys today is my finished object, the only finished object I have and have had in a while with knitting, and it is the Lakes pullover. I believe the last podcast that I showed you, I had just a little bit left of the sleeve, and now it's completely done. Here she is, the final look. I'm sure I'll insert some footage of me actually wearing it. And I love this sweater. It's so oversized. It's very cozy. I love the way that it falls off the shoulder with the saddle construction. It was very, very cool and fun to knit. And I actually really loved leaving the stitches live for it. And the yarn was so fun to knit with and work with, and I love the way that it came together, this like self-striping. I used Karen Blossom cakes. I don't know where it is on my shelf. It's somewhere in here. But I used that, and it's got like a blown fiber, so it has like a halo. And I didn't even worry about blocking this or anything. I literally just threw it in the wash because it's cotton and acrylic, so it would be fine. And it was. So I'm so happy that like this is going to be such a carefree, easy to maintain type of garment that I have, and I love it. I've gotten some really nice compliments. My husband complimented it so nicely. He's like, "That's such a nice sweater," and I'm like, "I made it," even though he knew I made it. But like, I don't know. I'm so happy, and I just love it. It's in the colorway Cabana. I have no idea, but yeah, I'm just obsessed with it. I love the way that it turned out. And this is a pattern by Ozetta. It's the first pattern I've had by Ozetta, and I will say it was a little, it wasn't like there was a ton of information in the pattern. I think there was enough information for you to be able to make this the way that it's written, but there definitely wasn't a lot of information if you needed to make modifications to fit the sizing perfectly for you. Like, the only thing I have against the pattern is how big the sleeves actually are. It kind of makes it like, I mean, I guess I'm not a huge oversized sweater person in the first place, so this could also just be because it's oversized. But it feels like you're swimming a little bit in it, and like it falls a little bit weird at the arms. Like there's almost just a little too much fabric there with the sleeves, and then the very back of the body, like right under the sleeves. Like if it was just a little bit smaller, I think it would be absolutely perfect. I also wish that the cuffs came in more. Like these are such large sleeve cuffs. I'm not that type of style. I don't really prefer that type of style, but I do love this sweater, and I'm very glad that I made it. So, and in fact, if you watched my other podcast video, you know my struggles with the yarn that I had bought. I had gotten 2 skeins, I believe, and that was a bad idea. I was not going to be able to get the sweater that I needed. I think I had such a small amount. This is what I had left of the 2 skeins after I had finished one of the sleeves and like the collar and the body. So I still had a whole sleeve to go, and this is all that I had. But I had checked for like 2 or 3 weeks, like every day, to see if they would be in stock so I could order some. And they weren't for a really long time, so I was getting nervous. I did find some people that resold it on Etsy, so I would be able to get it there, so I wasn't too worried. But I was holding out until I like actually needed it, and lucky enough, they finally got it back in stock. I was able to order it, and I was able to finish my sweater. I was very, very happy, and I still have a decent chunk of yarn left. Like, I did not use a ton of it for the sleeve, so I'm probably gonna end up making like a matching hat or maybe like a cowl. Not 100% sure, but I will find something to do with that. I think it's such a nice fiber. I like that it's my first time using cotton fiber, and it was nice because of the acrylic. I think that that really helped make it a pretty enjoyable knit. It was still pretty stiff at times, but it was alright. I really loved that sweater, so I'm very glad that I made it, and I think it's gonna be such a nice thing to wear in the fall. Like, okay, so I work in accounting, and our office is always freezing. Like, the AC, I don't know who controls it, but it is freezing in there. Like, everybody in my office, we are all bundled up. It's hilarious. We have like winter jackets at our desks. So I've been wearing that to work, and it's kept me very nice and warm, but also cool when I have to go out to the van and eat my lunch. But I do usually wear like an undershirt because it just gets so hot, and my van, our AC doesn't blow in our face. It blows on the defrost and it blows on our feet, but it doesn't, it's just stuck there. So I do take like an undershirt that I wear that I can just slip that sweater on and off. But it does keep me warm in my freezing cold office. That is the only finished object that I really have. It took me, I don't know exactly how long it took me. Let me look. I think I have it on my Ravelry, because I've tried to keep better notes of my projects just because I think, I don't know, I like looking at other people's notes and seeing how long it takes. So I probably should do the same. Okay, so I started it June 15th and I finished it July 21st. So that's like 5 weeks-ish, I think. But I do know I was waiting for some yarn in the meantime. But I also wasn't really rushing it. I was enjoying the time. And I also do think I counted this, like, the finish date of when I actually weaved in the ends. It was done for probably 2 weeks before I actually weaved in the ends and wore it. So I will say that. But yeah, no, that is my Lakes pullover by Ozetta. Overall, loved the pattern, loved the outcome, loved the yarn, and I'm so happy that I now have a sweater that I love. Okay, my next WIP is probably this. This is still a bag that I'm making, just a nice, easy little stadium bag, and it's probably going to be about this long. I don't really know how much longer, if I will make it any more longer. But the reason why I haven't continued to work on it is because I'm not sure how I want to do the facing, or at least like the inside, so that way it doesn't stretch. So I have this fabric, which I will probably use if I don't over dye this yarn. I have considered possibly doing that because I'm just not a huge fan of the yellow. But if I do keep it the same because of simplicity and like having a finished object, this is so weird that I'm holding it on my hand. But I think this looks really well together. I like the fabric with it. But I don't know how I'm going to have that be the lining and then have it so it's a zipper function and also have handles. Because what I was thinking of doing is pretty much leaving like, I don't know, like 4 stitches, probably, yeah, 4 or 5 stitches live on the sides and then binding off the rest. So then I have like 5 live stitches here, 5 live stitches here, and then do like a double knit strap that I would do across, but I don't know how that would work with trying to seal it. Like, I don't know, maybe it could work, maybe it won't. If you guys have any ideas on what I could do to do that, to like fix that, my issue here, that would be great. I would like it to just be a nice easy zip, but I would like to keep stitches live for a strap. And maybe that just won't work. Maybe I just need to like make a little like side thing where I attach just the straps here. I really don't know, guys. But that's my dilemma with this project, is I want a lining and I want it to be sewn in with a zipper, but I also want straps that like have it come up and over and keep the stitches live. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. But basically, I want to just keep knitting straight the strap, a double knitted strap. But I don't want to have to fuss with a zipper because the last time I fussed with a crocheted / knitted object was this, and this was a pain in the butt. If you've seen this video, you know what I mean. So that's my dilemma with this. But I enjoyed knitting this. I knit most of it at my husband's softball tournament, and then I think I did a couple weeks ago, finished the rest of the length that I needed, and now I'm just like holding off to figure out how I'm gonna figure that out. But that's my little side WIP. The next WIP I have is this lace sock that I have been working on. Oh, and before I completely swap over, I'm so out of podcasts, I haven't done them in forever. This yarn here is thrifted yarn from a cardigan that I unraveled, and I harvested so much yarn from it. Like, there's so much of this, and I'm pretty sure it's like a cotton nylon type of fabric. If I had to guess, I would assume it's some sort of cotton nylon. That's just kind of what it feels like to me. It's very, very stretchy, but it also feels a lot like cotton. So, but I don't know because the tag was cut out, so I couldn't actually tell you what it was. Yeah, but I have so much of it in this tiny little corner over here. Okay, the next thing that I have is the second sock, which you have seen this on a previous podcast. It's not much further, but I have progressed on the heel flap here, which I'm pretty sure I'm probably ready to pick up my gusset stitches and then start doing my gusset decreases so that way I can like do my turn and continue knitting on my foot. So this is the lace pattern I'm doing. This is what the sock will look like when it's done. I finished this a while ago, and it's just one of those lace charts from the Japanese stitch knitting Bible. I really love that book. I think there's so many beautiful, delicate stitches, and I've just enjoyed knitting it so far with socks because I feel like I can't stay too focused on something for too long, and I think socks are just the perfect amount of like delicacy for like lace. Like, I couldn't imagine doing a whole lace garment as beautiful as they are. I feel like I would be so nervous because if I set it down, I'm gonna forget where I'm at. Whereas like with socks, if I forget where I'm at, it's not really the end of the world. They're just gonna be on my feet. But yeah, this is what it will look like. I think this one is like 59. I want to say chart 59 if you have the book. I'll put on the screen what it obviously is because my memory might not be very great. But yeah, I pretty much have just been doing the repeat around like the sock, the circumference of the sock. And I did a small little picot edge because I was obsessed with the Crayabea and her Tulsa tee with the picot edge, the green one. I loved it so much. I was like, I kind of want to try that. So I did that with these socks. And these are like taking forever, I swear. I mean, I'm not really working on them. I've been working on some other things, which is why they're taking so long. But I would be like the happiest person in the world if I cast this sock off tomorrow, or at least make tremendous progress. But I probably won't because I'm going to be editing and I'm gonna want some easy knitting for when I accomplish editing a video. And this is just, you have to be in the right mindset, at least in my opinion. Like maybe I can do, I probably will, it'll probably fly once I finish doing the turn, but like the decreases are gonna take me a little bit longer just because you have to like focus. But then I think once I get back to the lace, I think I'll actually be fine. I don't really, like this, the foot flew, so I'm hoping it's gonna be the same for this one. I'm knitting this with Cascade's Heritage sock yarn, which I believe is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. It's either nylon or polyamide. I can't remember. I have one of them in here. This is just my little shelf of sock yarn. Yeah, 25% nylon. This is the same base, just in a pink color. And I have so much left over, which I'm very happy about because I think this is a good yarn for color work, which I would love to do more of this year. I want to make some really beautiful color work socks around the holidays. I think that would be a lot of fun. But this specific one, I mean, the other one was a little bit like this, but this specific ball, and I don't know if it's maybe just this color, it's so splitty. And it's really annoying when I'm working with lace and such small needles. Like these are 2.5 millimeter needles, or a US 1.5, I think is what it is. Yeah. And it slips so much, and it gets so splitty, and it kind of has like, it has a very light halo. I don't know if you can tell. It has such a light halo that it can be kind of annoying to work with. Like, I mean, I don't know, it's not focusing on the yarn. Hold on. I don't know if it'll focus that far in, but it's hard to knit with sometimes because of that. So that's the only thing I have against this yarn. Otherwise, it's really nice. It's so soft and so buttery smooth. Like, I love how this feels. And working, like, just feeling it even in the cake, it feels almost like lotion is on it, kind of. I don't know, I always get that feeling. Like my hands, they don't really feel like greasy, but they do feel like there's something that's like so just nice and smooth, and it feels sort of like as if a lotion were on it, and I like it. I like how that makes my hands feel. And this pink one here, that's the same base, it felt the same way when I was knitting it. So I don't know what it is about that, but I really like it, so that's why I've continued to knit with these. But I don't know if I'll necessarily choose the 2.5 millimeter. I might go back to my 3 millimeter if I knit with this again, but we'll have to see. I have really been enjoying this, and that's probably also why I have been like taking my time on it, because I probably won't start another lace project for a while when I do finish it, which is fine. But I have been enjoying knitting it, so I'm not in a huge rush. I would love to wear them, but at the same time, like, they're gonna be so delicate and dainty. Like, how could I wear these? They're just so pretty. I don't know. I'm obsessed. I love the pattern. So pretty. Can't wait for that one to be done though. And I've just been keeping it in one of my project bags that I made, except this one, the little strap on this side kind of fell out, so that just goes to show that everything you make won't always stay perfect. it might not even be perfect when you first finish it. Okay, my next WIP is a crochet WIP that I think I've shared before, but I basically have been crocheting a bunch of flowers that I kind of want to like put together and then make a backpack. I don't know why, but I thought it'd be a fun little end of summer type of project. So I originally wanted to do it with the crochet cotton, like the really thick ones or really thin crochet cotton that you make doilies with, like these. And I was originally going to do a ton of thrifted ones because I see them all the time at the thrift store near me. But it had been a few weeks since I'd gone thrifting, and I had decided that I was going to make this project. Well, I have gone multiple times now to all of my thrift stores around town, and they don't have these anymore. So I'm kind of left to figuring out something else that I can do. I have a ton of scrap yarn that I know I'm not going to use for projects. I will probably just do that. I really did want to try and keep it like cotton flowered, but I don't know. If you can't tell, I got the inspiration from Jenna Phipps and her like crochet flower top that she made. I just was like so inspired one night where I'm like, okay, I want to be like Jenna Phipps and I want to make a bag completely inspired by her. And this is how far I have gotten. I've made quite a few of them. I'll just show them to you just so you can see. Here's one. And they get progressively larger. Well, that's just because of how I have them organized. I don't know which ones I made which. I know which one I made first. Oh, also, can you tell I accidentally added another round? I thought for whatever reason this was the end of the round when really I went too far. I thought that was kind of funny, but I was too lazy to take it back because I'd already cut the yarn. This one took forever. It took so long, I literally like said screw it and just closed it when I felt like it. But it's still pretty. Here's another one. Oops. This was the first, I think. I think I did the same thing. No. Okay. And then I have this big one that's like kind of heavy and the petals don't want to stay up. But yeah, that's one of the projects that I'm working on. I don't know when I'm going to have that done. I would like to have it done before fall really happens because this is such a summery project that I'm not going to want to touch it till probably next summer if I don't finish it. But if I don't, it's fine. I probably can have it be a project for next summer because I'm going to be having to make a lot of flowers anyway. Okay, the next project that I'm working on is my Lanark sweater. I know. What is this? Elisa, you picked up your Lanark sweater? I did, guys, and I'm so happy because I'm gonna get her done and I'm not even gonna have to worry about her when it's time for fall and all of the beautiful fall sweaters that are coming out, which I cannot wait to tell you guys what I have planned because I think I'm gonna have so much fun this fall. So here she is, and look, I just finished the sleeve today. I cast it on, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I think I cast it on, picked up for the sleeve the same day that I filmed my last podcast, which was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, the sleeve is done, and look at the decreases. I think this is so nice, the way my decreases came out. I was so impressed, except of course the very last one I messed up, but I'm like, I noticed it a row after and it's like, I'm done with it. I'm not gonna even see it. It's fine. You can't even tell, but like, oh, beautiful. I love it. And the sleeve like so small, and it is pretty small. I will admit it's It's a tight sleeve, but I don't know. I think I should have knit one size up. I think I would have been much more comfortable with one more size up. It still fits. It fits the way the pattern's recommended to fit, but I personally think I actually would like a little bit of like zero ease with this sweater. I think that's how I personally would like to wear it. So I think I wish I did the size 4 instead of the size 3. But that's beside the point. I think it's fine. My love for this sweater has gone downhill so fast. Also, I noticed after I did pick up the sleeve that I definitely did make a mistake somewhere in the body, because look how nice the front looks compared to the sleeve. Like I'm pretty sure this is supposed to end with a knit, like the brioche knit, not the purl. And it doesn't, which is why you get that weird harsh look. Like you can really tell. You see that? So I think that's where I messed up, because I know when I was picking up stitches here, the way that it was written is it was supposed to like line up perfectly with the pattern when you connect in the round, but I had to add one more stitch for that to work. So I'm assuming I personally ended on the wrong stitch, or like started my brioche purling on the wrong stitch when it came to like knitting the sides, the front sides, the left and right side shoulders when I was making those. So I'm guessing that's what happened there, but what can you do? I'm not really too worried about it. It's fine. I'll be fine. I'm going to I'm going to pick up stitches for the sleeve here soon. Probably going to do it tomorrow after I finish editing a video. Once I finish one of my videos, then I'm probably going to pick up the stitches and then maybe knit like 2 or 3 rounds to get established. And then I'm going to edit another video, and then once I finish editing that video, then I can go and probably knit like a couple centimeters. This brioche really, after the decreases, the sleeve, it just started to fly, so I was very happy about that. I'm not loving the way that it fits on my body. It's the same issue that I had earlier in the year, and you guys said a lot of really nice things about it, but I still just personally am not comfortable with how it looks. I don't know if it's the color, because I don't think it's the color. It's not like it's a bad color. This is Lion Brand's Respun 100% recycled polyester in the colorway Parchment. And it's kind of like a beige. Honestly, it's really perfect and similar to Parchment. Like the baked color that it gets after it's been in the oven. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think more than anything what I need to do is put the zipper in, because that's really how it's gonna look, and there's no point in putting it on other than to like see how it fits on my body. There's no point in putting it on and then judging how the sweater looks before I have the zipper in, because like, yeah, this doesn't look great right now. But once you get the zipper in, that's when it comes together, which I haven't been able to figure out what zipper I want in it, which is a little bit frustrating. If you are new to my podcast and knitting in general, you might not know what this sweater is. Knitting online community, that is. But this is the Lanark sweater by Rebecca Clow, also known as the Crayabea on YouTube. And it is a half fisherman's rib or like half brioche sweater. And it's a quarter zip. So it was really funny, because I was just noticing that the end is stuck out. I already weaved it in, but it's just peeping through. I had picked this up, and then I think like a day or two later she re-released the Lanark sweater, and I was so nervous because I was like, oh no, what if like something changed, and I had just finally picked the sweater back up. But thankfully, like all of the stitches and the stitch counts she said were fine. It was just the beginning setup. She wanted to make it a little bit more informative, a little like reword how it was written originally, and then she also was so kind to make video tutorials for it, which I think are great because I personally had struggles when I was first starting the sweater, and I found a lot of other people did as well, which is why she probably took it off and worked out those little kinks and then re-put it back on. But you basically start with the folded collar, and then you kind of have to like work out from the middle back part of the folded collar. Once you fold it down and sew it, then you start working on like the back shaping here. And then once you've done that, you work a little bit to like the end, I think, of your armhole. Then you start to like pick up the stitches along here for the front facing sides of the collar over here. So it's a little bit fussy to get started, but then I found once I was started, and especially once I was in the round, it pretty much flew. It was a little bit of a slog because you're knitting with such small needles for it being like a DK weight, which was a little bit different, but it makes sense because of the brioche. But I don't know. I have no idea how this will block out. I didn't block it, and I didn't make a swatch. Well, I made a swatch. I did make a swatch, and I did block it. But what? I don't know. I just think I don't have so much trust in this yarn. I don't know. I probably just don't trust my gauge swatch. But I did make a swatch. You can't see it, but it's on my board. Yeah, so this is, I'm so happy that I'm working on it, but I'm a little concerned that this will not be one of my favorite sweaters when I do finish it. Just from wearing it, the yarn, I really loved it at the beginning, but now, and it could also just be the summer, for all I know. It's just because it's summer and it's hot and I feel like I'm sweaty all the time. But it's just not as comfortable as I remember. It's still not like scratchy, but it's not a wool, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that will have anything to do with how I feel when I wear it. I also notice it's going to pill a lot. Like, this is just from putting it in and out of my bag, my project bag, and like there's not even any wear on it yet, and it's already starting to like pill and fray. You can really see it like back here. I think it also could be just the way that the yarn is, but I don't know, because I don't have that issue with my Lupin sweater, and I've worn my Lupin sweater. But this is, it's a work in progress again, which is good. It's not just sitting dead. But I have one sleeve to go, and then I have the zipper, which I hear the zipper is not much to finish at all. So very excited to finish this. I'm hoping that I can get it done in the next 2 weeks, because I have a lot of really fun fall plans started, and I would love to get a start on those sweaters because they're more interesting to me at the time. So what have I been keeping this in? A brand new finished project bag that I have made, and I just finished posting today the part 1 of this video. So if you're at all interested, I'll have that also tagged here somewhere, I think, as well as in the description. But this is my attempt at like a perfect project bag, which it's not perfect. First of all, the facing that I do, I have to do a little bit more research because I'm kind of getting tired of the wrinkly facing. I don't know how it is that I'm doing my iron-on facing, but it always ends up really, really wrinkly on the fabric, and it doesn't look that polished, you know? Like, I want to add that extra little bit to make it really look really nice and pretty. Like this one, I don't think I had that big of an exaggeration. Like the other one, it's really wrinkly on here. Yeah, you can kind of see that. This one wasn't nearly as wrinkly, but it still is at some points. But I want to figure out the technique. I really want to get it down to where it doesn't look like that, where it looks really nice and polished and like there's not obviously ironed on facing. And maybe that's just how it is. Maybe that's just something I need to like understand, that that's just part of it. But it's a very nice big project bag. I wanted something large that I could stick the sweater in, which it still could be larger if you ask me. I would love for this to be a little bit bigger and a little bit wider. It's just I was using my thrifted zippers here. I got a ton of them thrifted last year. Gosh, that's crazy that it's been that long. Yeah, last year I thrifted, I scored and got like 20 something zippers. They're all about 12 inches and they're really nice quality metal zippers. So I got a ton of those and I've just been making bags with them, project bags. So this one I made my strap a little bit thicker here that I can, you know, actually grab from and not worry that it's gonna rip like my other one. And then the other thing about this bag that I really wanted to get down was the inside has a zipper pocket, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. Like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. And I have, like, it's a pretty deep zipper. Well, it's not super deep. It goes to about right here on the bag. So like this whole to here is a pocket. And yeah, it's nice and it fits like my hand in there and stuff. And I've been keeping like needles if I need them, and then I keep my little tape measure, and if I wanted I could keep a smaller project in there as well. Like I think I took this for the day where I had my Lanark sweater in the main and then I had my little sock in here, and it was fine and it fit, it was good. Another thing about this bag is I really wanted something to keep my stitch markers on so I wouldn't keep losing them at the bottom of my bag. And so I did a little strap on the inside here, just sewn in, and then I had these extra little clips, or rings, I guess. They're like the half rings. And I had a bunch of extra ones from when I made my sister a like cat hammock that it didn't call for this part of the J-hook. And yeah, I love how it's come out. And now I can have all of my stitch markers in one spot and not have to keep losing them, because I originally had a pack of 20. This is not 20 stitch markers. So, oh my gosh, it got so blue. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know why my camera just randomly decides to change the white balance every once in a while. But yeah, this is my newest project bag edition, and it's these beautiful little patchworks. And I got this fabric at the beginning of summer with the intention of making project bags, so I was planning on making like a ton of them, but I was getting tired of all the patchwork, so I'm like, I'm just gonna stick to one because that's all that I was gonna be able to finish. I didn't even finish it in that day. I think it took me like a few more days. But yeah, I finished it, and it's been my go-to project bag, especially because of this nice little easy grippable strap. It's so much easier to take with me. And like I said, it's just been keeping my Lanark sweater. And it is, yeah, it's pretty useful. It's very nice and big, a lot of space, and I'm very excited. The cool thing is I've been trying to work on different techniques with sewing and like adding different skills, like, you know, zippers and inside pockets. Like, I think they're called like hidden pockets or invisible pockets. But just learning different things like that to help make each bag that I make a little bit better. So I'm very, very excited about that. So here's her with my Lanark sweater in there. Okay, any other WIPs that I have right now? I don't think so. I think that's all that I have currently on the needles that I can think. which isn't like crazy, which is good. I don't want too much because I have future things that I want to start, but I want to get these things done first. But I do have some other crafts that I've been doing that I kind of want to share with you guys, because what else am I going to talk about? Okay, so the first thing is I was so kindly gifted by my mother-in-law her Cricut, which is pretty much like a crafter's dream. You can cut all sorts of stencils or decals. You really can make anything with a Cricut, which is so cool. So I have been happily making gifts. Yeah, so you basically can make anything that you want with a Cricut, which is so fun. So the first thing that I got, or that I made when I did it right away, was a gift that we as in my husband and I, will be giving to my mother-in-law's husband. And he's really big into like craft beers, and he has this nice little collection of different cups. So I made an etched glass that says like their last name and like Brewing Co. And obviously like the state that they live in. They're very big into the Minnesota life, and it's really hard to show you the thing without it being. Let's see if that will. I don't know. Maybe if I put it on like the back, it'll help. Sorry guys, there's just not a good angle to show because of. But it basically has like the year that they got married, and then the state, their last name, and Brewing Co. And like, it's just gonna be a nice little gift. And I did that by like cutting out the stencil, and then I used this like really acidic stuff here, and it basically like it's an acid. It literally eats away the glass, and that's like it works in minutes. And then this one we made for my husband's dad. They have a softball team that they play on, and they have like a cute little logo, and my husband does the website, so we put that on a glass cup. And then the year that the league, their team started playing, so I thought it was kind of cute. I liked it, and I enjoyed making it. So that is the cups that I've made. And then I also recently did like a home decor kind of thing where I took our state, Wisconsin, and I made like a home sign that I have hanging on my wall. I'll insert a picture over here, and I loved that. I worked on that today. I actually stained the wood. I like sanded it down because I got it at the dollar store, so it had a lot of really like rough edges. So I sanded it down, and then I really just did a stencil of the thing and then used some paint, some white paint, and I really love how it looks. I would put like a white border around the state of Wisconsin if I could do it over, but I don't know. I think it's still cute. I love it. I did the Milwaukee Brewers blue, or at least the closest I could get to it, and yeah, I did that for the little color of the state. I really liked how that turned out, and my husband did too. I think it looks nice on our wall. What else have I been crafting on? I'm not sure. Yeah, I've just been having some fun with that. The next thing that I want to share with you guys is what acquisitions I have, because I have a lot of acquisitions that I was not expecting, but I'm very happy about. So the first thing is I found some thrifted yarn, which is so rare that you get cones at the thrift store. Like, what? Okay. I got this and this. I got these thrifted at the thrift store, and like, holy moly, that is a lot of yarn, and it's 100% wool. And I'm so excited and happy, and I just, it's, yeah, 100% pure wool, Wangaratta Woolen Mills. I have no idea where that is. I kind of want to look it up, and I probably will. And then this one is Collins and Aikman Corp. 100% wool, bright orange. So, I have these two, and I don't know how much this will get me. I've never really worked with a cone. I do know that they tend to go a long way. So I'm hoping I can get like a sweater. Am I being ambitious? That would be cool though. I would probably either stripe it or possibly do this as a contrasting color and this as the main color, and do the sweater that the Crabea or Rebecca Clow is coming out with this fall. I can't remember what it's called now. But she's doing a test knit for it currently. And it's a really nice, cute little, I don't know. I think this would be fine. I got them together, so I was like, might as well use them together. But I'm very excited about that. Again, that was such a surprising find. I did not think I was going to walk away with that much wool. Like, you don't get that type of quality yarn at the thrift store. You just don't. The next is some more, but this is what's like really interesting about this. So my coworker is so kind, and she knows that I knit and I have a very big crafting knitting hobby, and she gave me some yarn that her friend had given her when she was moving away. She's like, I don't really use this. Do you want it? And I'm like, yes, that's so nice. So she gave me all of these, and she gave them to me a while ago. I don't know if I've actually shared it in the podcast, but she gave me all of these, which is so kind, and I'm like, oh, I could definitely make like a cute little stuffed bear or something. Like, there's a decent amount of yarn in here, right? So she gave me all of those, and I have no idea what the type of yarn it is. Well, I mean, I have somewhat of an idea. I'm guessing it's a polyester, just the way that it looks and feels. And then I found these. Sorry, I'm like, where was I going with this? Then I found these at the thrift store, and they're the same type of yarn. Like, the exact same type that she had given me. And I was so excited because now I have more of it. And I couldn't believe it. I think it's a rayon. That's what this says. Rayon buff. I'm not sure what that means. But this is in the colorway custard, which is really similar to like these two. I think it's kind of its own color. It might be this color, but like it's kind of in between those two. And then this one is custard, which I thought was like the same as this one, but I still think it's on its own. But they're definitely the same type of material. Like, the yarn is so similar. And this one you really can't tell. I mean, you can tell a little bit, but I was so impressed by that. I thought that was so cool. So I'm like, okay. So I picked these up, and they were, I think, 50% off. I can't remember, but like, not bad. I got all of that at the thrift store, and then I was gifted the other balls, which I thought was so kind. And I've just put them in here for what I plan to use. Now, what I'm planning on doing is, because these are so soft and like, you know, easy to wash, easy to care, I kind of want to make a baby gift, or like a baby blanket or a baby toy for my manager. She's currently expecting, and she shared it with the office the other day. And I thought it would be nice to kind of give her a little gift for her soon-to-be little one. It will be her first child, so I thought that would be a fun, nice little gift to give. And then I found the yarn, so I was like, cool. I'll obviously make sure it's like completely clean and good and like, I'm not gonna give her something that just came from a thrift store, so I will make sure that it's very well taken care of, well cleaned, very nice, and perfect condition. The next thing I got was some Patton's Croy socks. I got this at the thrift store too. I was like, what is this? I never get this such a good quality yarn at the thrift store. And look what I was walking away with. There's so much of this too. And I was very, very excited when I saw that. So I picked it up, had to. And I like the colorway too. I think this will be great for fall. I'm really enjoying that. It also came with this very tiny little ball. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I figured I could keep it for my sock scraps at this point. So, lots of fun goodies that I found this week. I do have another one. It's not yarn, but it is crafting related. And I saw it and I had to, because it is a craft that I'm slightly intrigued by. Like, it does interest me and I do want to get better at it. But I found this embroidery set at the thrift store as well. I could not believe what I was finding at the thrift store this last couple weeks, because you never find this many great finds all at once, and I found it all the same day. Like, that doesn't happen. So I was so, like, I was stunned. But yeah, here is what I have, and it came with all of them like this in this container, which is even great. It came with such cute little tiny little scissors. Oh my god, they're so cute. And then came with some needles, just one. But like they're so well organized, and they have the little codes she has written on the top of them, like that. And I couldn't believe it. I was so excited when I got this. So yeah, just very nicely packaged. I couldn't believe it. So I had to grab it. So now I have some embroidery that I can use for some future projects. Like this one, I was already planning on embroidering on the outside, especially if I don't over dye it. But like now I have a nice little embroidery set, and I'm just, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so excited. Guys, this has been a crazy podcast, I feel like. Like, when do I ever have this much to talk about? It's been a while. So that's all that I've been working on. But I do have a few things that I'm excited and kind of want to talk about for future projects. Like, can we please take a second to talk about the storm sweater that just came out by Petite Knit? I'm so obsessed. I cannot wait. But here's the thing. I was planning on using this yarn. So this is more of that Respun by Lion brand. That Respun polyester. And it is soft and squishy, and it's kind of got like a faux halo. So I love the way that it feels on my Lupin sweater, and I knit it in the same color. So this yarn I don't have an issue with. I was planning on using this to make the Arctic Light sweater when the Copy Dolls and Alex from Alexandria Garn, and then the other, I think her name is Maria from, I can't remember, but they're all hosting an Arctic Light Cal, and I wanted to join that with this. But now I also want to make the Storm sweater by Petite Knit. I made her Ingrid sweater, and it looks very similar, but it also like is slightly different. It looks more loose around the sleeves. Like, it's not as heavy of a sweater as the Ingrid sweater was. So I don't know, guys, because I don't want to buy a ton of yarn, but I don't know which one I want to knit more. Do I want to do the Arctic Light sweater by Kutavakika, or do I want to do the Storm sweater by Petite Knit? I'm kind of at a loss. I can always buy more because this stuff is very affordable yarn, but I also do want to buy, I have some different projects that I'm thinking of doing this later year, and I kind of want to save some money for some really nice quality yarn that I want to get. So I don't know, I'm kind of torn about that. The other thing that I want to do is, if you watched my last podcast, you saw that I was brainstorming ideas to do, or to make a pattern, if I could, if I even have that skill, to use with this yarn that I got off Amazon. And I kind of still do want to do that, but at the same time, I went thrifting this last weekend ago, I can't remember, but I found a shirt that I really, really liked, and it kind of fit the theme that I'm seeing in a lot of knitting trends this fall, where it was a like double knit collar, kind of like, sort of like a zip, but instead of a zip, it was a button band, and it had the collar, and it was just really nice, and I loved it. I'll insert a picture. There were some stains on it, so I wasn't gonna get it, but I really loved how it looked, and I loved the fit. I think it was a little bit small, so I could obviously make it my size, make it a little bit larger, but I want to knit something just like that, and like, I have the skills too. I can knit it if I want to. I don't know if I'd write a pattern though, because like, the people that write patterns, you guys are amazing, and I don't know if I have that type of skill to be able to like do what I'm doing and then share it with a bunch of people. I would love to if I could, but I just don't think I have that skill yet, at least. So at the very least, I want to make it, and if I can't make it myself, I want to find a pattern, which I think there is a few that are very similar but not quite the same. But I want to do that for the fall, so I need to get started on that relatively quickly, otherwise I'll be finishing it by like winter, and by then it won't really be fall. Like, it's a lighter shirt. It's not going to be like a huge sweater. It's going to definitely be like a long sleeve shirt. So that's kind of where I'm at. I would love to work on that soon, which is why I need to get all of my WIPs done and then cast that on ASAP, because I'm running out of time. But yeah. Anyway, that's probably all that I should talk about today, because it is late. It is almost 11. So I am gonna head out for the night. Thank you so much if you stayed around and listened to me ramble this podcast. It was very chatty, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a like, consider subscribing. I love to share all sorts of fun crafty hobbies that I'm doing, and I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. I like watching other people's do it, so I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Anyways, I will see you on the next one. Bye!